Good afternoon to everybody. Today we will discuss about probability theory. You in your school career you have already read about probability. The question comes, what is the meaning of probability in mathematical language? Suppose somebody will ask you a question whether corona will go from our country in the next month. What will be your answer? The answer is 50-50. It may or may not go in mathematical language, but God should have a mercy on us so that corona should go from the society. Anyway, we will come to the topic. First I will explain experiment. There are two types of experiments. One is scientific, another is statistical. What is the meaning of scientific experiments? The experiments in which the result is certain, that means confirmed result, is called a scientific experiment. Suppose you will combine two chemicals, the result is a confirmed one and the result is known to us. What will be the result, outcome? Next is statistical experiment. The experiments in which the result is not certain. That means suppose you will toss a coin or throwing a die. The result is not certain. You can get various results. The experiments in which results are not certain. Example, in tossing a coin, either you will get head or you will get tail. Suppose a student is appearing in the examination, there are two possibilities, either he will be passed or he will be failed. The result is not certain in that case. Next comes your trial. Performing of an experiment is called a trial. Throwing a die, drawing a card, all are trials. Next comes outcomes. The results of an experiment are called outcomes. Suppose in tossing a coin, we have two results, either head or tail. They are the possible outcomes. Sample space, the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment is called a sample space. Suppose you will throw a die. You all know the die has 6 faces. So while throwing a die, sample space has elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the all possibilities. Next comes your event. A subset of the sample space is called an event. Equally likely events. Two events are said to be equally likely if the chance of their occurrence is same. Two events are said to be equally likely if chance of their occurrence is same. Suppose in this case, while you are tossing a coin, head and tail are equally likely. The chance of occurrence of head is same as chance of occurrence of tail. Or in case of throwing a die, the chance of occurrence of the faces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all are equally likely. Another terminology is there, honest coin. What is the meaning of honest coin? Or sometimes it is called fair coin. Fair is not in the sense of complexion. Here fair coin or honest coin means the coin is made of homogeneous materials so that CG, center of gravity, is at the center of the coin. In some of the books you will find the terminology biased, unbiased coin. That means the meaning is same. Unbiased coin means fair coin or honest coin. Next comes our sample point. Sample point. Element of the sample space is called a sample point or a sample. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all are sample points. Next, mutually exclusive events. Two events are said to be mutually exclusive if they cannot occur simultaneously. That means chance of their occurrence is not possible at the same time. Two events are said to be mutually exclusive if they cannot occur simultaneously. In tossing a coin, getting head or tail, getting head and tail are mutually exclusive. Suppose somebody will tell that a human being will alive and dead. It is not possible. So that is a mutually exclusive case. Or if in a school career, if somebody will tell that the student will be passed, so also will be failed. It is not possible. In that case, that they are also mutually exclusive. Next comes simple event. The event having only one sample point is called a simple event. Suppose in tossing a coin, getting a head, the event is like this. So here this is a simple event, compound event. The event in which more than one sample point is called a compound event. The event in which more than one sample point. Suppose you are throwing two coins. Event of getting at least a head. That means HH, HT, TH. There are three sample points in this case, so it is a compound event. Next comes your impossible event. Impossible event. You are all acquainted with the empty set phi in set theory. So an event is said to be impossible event if its chance of occurrence is 0. If chance of occurrence of the event is not possible, is called an impossible event. Suppose in tossing a coin, event of getting two heads, that is an impossible event. Or suppose in throwing a die, somebody tell that event of getting a total of 8. So it is not possible because the maximum number in the die is 6. Therefore, that is also an impossible event. Next comes your probability of an event. Let us come to the topic, probability of an event. Let A is a non-empty set and S is its sample space. Here we are discussing the sample space, that is your terminology, universal set in set theory, same as. So is it sample space, then probability of A, it is denoted as PA. P stands for probability, equal to cardinality of A divided by cardinality of S. Cardinality means, again I am telling about the cardinality, that is the number of elements present in a set is called its cardinality. Or in some of the books you will find number of favorable cases of event A, total number of possible outcomes, that is probability of A. Example, what is the probability of getting a total of 9 while throwing 2 dice. I have already told that a die has 6 faces. So when you are throwing 2 dice, that means total number of outcomes will be 6 into 6. Here multiplication is taken because you know fundamental theorem of principal counting. If a work is done in m ways and another work is done in n ways, then both the works can be done in mn ways. Similarly, here a die has 6 faces. So while throwing 2 dice, cardinal of face equal to 6 into 6, that is 36. Let A is the event of getting a total of 9, that is the possible combinations are 3, 6, 6, 3, 4, 5 and 5, 4. There are 4 possible cases. That implies cardinal of A equals to 4. So PA equals to cardinal of A by cardinal of S, that is 4 by 36, that is 1 by 9. Next, we will do a theorem. Let S is a non-empty set, non-empty finite set, and E is an event of S, then 0 less than equal to P less than equal to 1. Suppose if E is an impossible event, that implies cardinal of E equals to 0. So in this case, probability of E equal to cardinal of E by cardinal of S, that is 0 by cardinal of S equals to 0. If E is non-empty, then minimum number of elements present in E must be 1. Then E must have at least 1 element. That implies cardinal of E must be greater than 0. That implies cardinal of E by cardinal of S is greater than 0 by cardinal of S. That implies probability of E greater than 0. Again, if A is an event of S, then E must be a subset of S. That means cardinal of E less than equal to cardinal of S. Here cardinal of E is less than equal to cardinal of S because E is a subset of S. That implies cardinal of E by cardinal of S is less than equal to 1, implies P less than equal to 1. Now mark these three inequations. 1, P equals to 0. In 2, P greater than 0. In 3, P less than equal to 1. So from 1, 2 and 3, 0 less than equal to P less than equal to 1. Next comes your PS equals to 1, P phi equals to 0. Here P phi, that is cardinal of phi by cardinal of S, empty set has no elements, 0 by cardinal of S, that is 0. Again PS, from definition of probability, cardinal of S by cardinal of S, that is 1. Next, Next comes P complement or P naught E, or you can write P dash equal to 1 minus P. From set theory, you know that if A is a set, its complement is A complement or A dash, then A union A dash equals to E, A intersection A dash equals to phi. So, let E is an event and its complement, that is not E, is E complement. From set theory, E union E complement equals to S, E intersection E complement equal to phi. That implies probability of S equal to probability of E union E complement, that is 1 equal to P plus P complement minus P E intersection E complement, that is 1 minus P equal to P complement minus 0, because E intersection E complement equal to phi. So, probability of E intersection E complement, that is cardinality of E intersection E complement by cardinality of S, that is 0 by cardinality of S equals to 0. So, that implies P complement equal to 1 minus P. Here there will be a question, from where we got this? P union E complement equal to P plus P complement minus P intersection complement. For that, we have to prove a theorem. I will explain now. If A and B are two sets, then probability of A union B equal to PA plus PB minus P A intersection B. From set theory, we know that cardinality of A union B equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B minus cardinality of intersection B. You know the proof of this theorem. Dividing each term by cardinality of S, we have P A union B. This term will give you P A union B from definition, that is PA plus PB minus P A intersection B. There is a special case of this theorem, case 1. If AB are mutual exclusive, that is A intersection B equal to phi, then PA union B equal to PA plus PB. This is a special case if A and B are mutual exclusive. This is called theorem of total probability. Addition theorem of probability. If AB's are three sets, if A, B, C are three sets, then P A union B union C equal to PA plus PB plus PC minus P A intersection B minus P A intersection C minus P B intersection C plus P A intersection B intersection C. P A union B union C. Let us make it a group A union B as a single element. That is from previous theorem, P A union B plus PC minus P A union B intersection C. That is, by previous theorem, this term will give you PA plus PB minus P A intersection B plus PC minus P. Remember, distributed over in set theory, that will be A intersection C union B intersection C. That is, by rearranging PA plus PB plus PC minus PA intersection B minus, this is PA intersection C plus PB intersection C minus P A intersection C intersection B intersection C. That is PA plus PB plus PC minus P A intersection B minus P A intersection C minus P B intersection C minus plus P. This term will give you A intersection B intersection C. So this is the formula for three events. If ABs are mutually exclusive, then this term reduces to PA union B union C will be PA plus PB plus PC. This is applicable for any number of sets or events. If A1, A2, An are n events which are mutually exclusive, then P A1 union A2 union dot union An equal to PA1 plus PA2 up to PAN. Next, if A is a subset of B, then PA less than equal to PB. Proof. As A is a subset of B, that implies cardinality of A less than equal to cardinality of B, because in case of equal sets, if A and B are equal, then cardinality of A equal to cardinality of B. In case of proper subsets, if A is a proper subset of B, then cardinality of A must be less than cardinality of B. So that implies cardinality of A by cardinality of S is less than equal to cardinality of B by cardinality of S, implies PA less than equal to PB. Next comes your PA minus B equal to PA minus P A intersection B. You remember Venn diagrams? Suppose AB are two sets. This is your intersection portion. What is the elements present in A minus B? The elements which are A minus B is the set of all elements which are present in A but not in B. So in the diagram, this portion is your A minus B and this portion is A intersection B. So what is their union? Their union will be your set A. So A equals to A minus B union A intersection B. From this diagram, this is your A minus B portion, this is your A intersection B, so their union is A. So A can be written as A minus B union A intersection B, and they have no common element. A minus B means the elements which are present in A but not in B. A intersection B, that is the elements which are present both in A and B. So these are mutually exclusive. A minus B and A intersection B are mutually exclusive. So PA equals to PA minus B plus PA intersection B. That implies PA minus PA intersection B equal to PA minus B. Next, we'll do a problem. If two dice are thrown, then what is the probability of getting a total of 5 or 7? Second bit, a total of 5 or 3 on the first die. I have already told that when two dice are thrown, cardinality of S equals to 6 into 6, that is 36. Let A is the event of getting a total of 5, that is 1 4 4 1 2 3 3 2. B, event of getting a total of 7, that is 1 6 6 1 2 5 5 2 3 4 4 3. Here cardinality of A equals to 4, cardinality of B equals to 6, A intersection B equals to 5. That means they are mutually exclusive, having no common element. So probability of A union B, that is probability of getting a total of 5 or 7 equals to PA plus PB, that is 4 plus 6 10. So PA union B, get it to 5 or 7 equals to whole divided by cardinality of S, that is 10 by 36 or 5 by 18. For second bit, we have to find a total of 5 or a 3 on first die. Let C is the event that getting 3 on the first die. C, event of getting 3 on the first die, that is 3 1 3 2 3 3 3 4 3 5 3 6. So cardinality of C equals to 6. Now A intersection C equals to total of 5 and 3 on the first die, that will be single element 3 2. That implies cardinality of A intersection C equals to 1. Now probability of getting a total of 5 or 3 on the first die equals to PA union C, that is PA plus PC minus PA intersection C. Here PA is 4 by 36, PC is 6 by 36 minus 1 by 36, that is 9 by 36 or 1 by 4. Next is another problem. A coin is tossed thrice. Find the probability of getting all heads, at least 2 heads, at most 2 heads. Here a coin is tossed thrice, that means as a coin is tossed thrice, when you are tossing a coin single time, there are 2 possibilities, that is head and tail. So that means for one throw there are 2 possible outcomes, that is 2 to the power 1. So for 3 throws, cardinal of S equals to 2 cube, that is 8. Here S will be like this: triple H, HST, HTH, THH, then TTH, THT, HTT and triple T. These are all possible sample points of the sample space. So here total number will also be equal to 8. Now A is the event of getting all heads. That means there will be single one element. Triple H implies cardinal of A equals to 1. So PA equal to cardinal of A by cardinal of S, that is 1 by 8. Suppose B is the event of getting at least 2 heads. Getting at least 2 heads means minimum number of heads will be 2, that may be maximum will be 3. So these are the possibilities: 3H, HHT, HTH and THH. These 4 elements will form the element of set V. Triple H, HHT, HTH, THH. That implies cardinal of B equals to 4. So PB equals to cardinal of B by cardinal of S, that is 4 by 8. Third, for at most 2 heads, that means maximum number of heads will be 2. See event of getting at most 2 heads. That means there are possibilities: no head, single head, HTT, THT, TTH, then 2 heads. This is same as complementary event of event A. In A, that is getting all heads. All heads means triple H, so its complementary event is getting at most 2 heads. HHT, HTH, THH, TTH, THT, HTT, triple T. This is complementary event of A, that is A complement. So PC equals to probability of A complement equals to 1 minus PA, that is 1 minus 1 by 8, that is 7 by 8. Or you can solve the problem directly. Here C having cardinality 7, so PC equals to cardinality of C by cardinality of S, that is also 7 by 8. Next problem is in tossing a coin thrice, 3 times, find the probability of getting head and tail alternately. That means if first head then tail then head, or first tail then head then tail. As a coin is tossed 3 times, that implies cardinality of S equals to 8. In last problem I have already written the possibilities. For this problem, head and tail will be alternately. This will HTH, head tail head, or this one tail head tail. Let A is the event of getting head and tail alternately, that is HTH or THT, implies cardinality of A equals to 2. So PA equals to cardinality of A by cardinality of S, that is 2 by 8 or 1 by 4. Next is a die is rolled 3 times or thrice. Find the die is rolled twice. Find the probability of getting the result of first die exceeds by 3 of the second die. Second bit at least 3. At least 3 means first roll will exceed the second roll by at least 3. Third one at most 3. The die is rolled thrice, so cardinality of S equals to 6 cube, 216. Find the probability that 2 times, that is 6 square, 36. Find the probability of getting the result that the result of first die exceeds the result of second die by 3. A है event of getting the result in which the number of first die or number on first die will exceed that of the second die by 3. What are the possibilities? The first die will be, if 6, second will be 6 3, next 5 2 and 4 1. These are the possibilities. So cardinality of A equals to here 3. So probability of A equals to cardinality of A by cardinality of S, that is 3 by 36 or 1 by 12. For second bit, at least 3. Result of first die exceeds the result of second die by at least 3. At least 3 means the minimum difference between first and second die is 3 or 4 or 5 or. So what are the possibilities? 6 3, 5 2, 4 1. For 4 difference, 6 2, 5 1. And for 5 difference, 6 1. There will be no other possibilities. I hope 6 3, 5 2, 4 1 for 3, for 4 6 2, 5 1, for 5 6 1. So cardinality of B equals to, in this case, 6. So probability of B will be cardinality of B by cardinality of S, that is 6 by 36, that is 1 by 6. For last bit, the result of the first die will exceed the result of the second die at most by 3. At most means it is the complementary event of getting the result of first row exceeds the result of the second row by 3. That means C, event of getting the result that first die exceeds the result of second die by at most 3, that is A complement. So PC equals to PA complement, that is 1 minus PA, that is 1 minus 1 by 12, that is 11 by 12. Next comes your interesting problems on playing cards. Some of you have already are playing cards, or some of you have watched also the game of playing cards. For that reference, total number of cards in the packet or deck equals to 52. Number of aces Eureka is 4. Number of jacks Gulam, that is 4. Number of kings 4. Number of queens 4. Total number of suits, that is 4. What are the suits? Diamond, the shape is like this. Spade, that is Kalapan. Club, that is Chidia. And heart, that is red card, that is heart. So number of diamonds 13, number of spades 13, number of clubs 13, number of hearts 13. So these four suits are in a packet, that is spade, heart, king and queen. Number of red cards, what will be the number? That will be 26, because your heart is of red color and diamond is of red color. So number of red cards 26. Black cards, number of blacks, your spade is black, clubs are also black, number of black cards 26. Number of face cards, king, jack, king, queen and ace. These are all preliminary things you have to know while solving the problems on playing cards. So let us do a problem on this. From a well shuffled, that means mixed nicely, well shuffled pack of 52 cards, 5 cards are drawn. What is the probability that contain exactly 2 aces, second one contain 4 face cards of a particular suit? Anyway, let us come to solve the problem. You have already remembered about combination and permutation. Combination is an arrangement where order is not concerned. That means if you select 3 numbers, 3 alphabets A, B, C, if there will be no order. Order means, suppose in digital system 1, 2, 3, it will constitute 123. In case of 2, 3, 1, that is 231, they are different. But in case of, suppose you will draw some balls, red, white, blue, that means there is no order is not concerned. Suppose you are picking up some points, selecting some points, so they are not, order is not concerned. So in that case, out of n things, r things can be selected in NCR ways. NCR, where NCR equals to n factorial by r factorial, n minus r factorial. So out of n things, r things can be selected in this manner. Here it is a combination where order is not concerned. So here, out of 52 cards, we have to select 5 cards. Out of 52 cards, 5 cards can be selected in 52C5 ways. That implies cardinality of S equals to 52C5. Let A is the event of drawing 5 cards in which there are exactly 2 S's. Here cardinality of A will be, your total number of S's is 4. So out of 4 S's, 2 S's can be selected in 4C2H. 4C2 multiplied by, if 2 are S's, then remaining 3 cards will be selected out of 52 minus 4, that is 48. Remember, total number of S's is 4 and total number of cards is 52. So removing your 4 minus, taking minus of 4 cards from 52 cards, remaining other cards will be 48, out of which 3 cards we have to select. 4C2 into 48C3 by fundamental principle of counting. You follow my point, I hope. Out of 4 SS, 2 SS can be selected in 4C2H, and remaining cards will be 52 minus 4, that is 48, out of which you have to select 3 cards, that is 40C3H. Then by fundamental principle of counting, this will be multiplied as 4C2 into 48C3. So now PA equals to cardinal top A by cardinal top S, that is 4C2 into 48C3 divided by 52C5. For second bit, contain 4 face cards of a particular suit. In each suit there are 13 cards. Let B is the event of getting 4 face cards of a particular suit. If 4 face cards are taken as your ace, jacks, kings and queens, so you have to select another remaining 1 card, because the total number of cards to select is 5. Here we have 4 face cards are there, so another card will be, that is out of other suits. So these 4 faces will be selected out of 13 cards of a particular suit, that is 13C4. Our other cards will be 39, because 39 will be because 52 minus 13, 1 cards of 1 suit will be subtracted from the total number of cards, that is 52, that will be 39. So the rest remaining card, that is 1 card, will be selected out of these 39 cards. That can be done in 39C1 ways. So out of 13 cards of a suit, 4 face cards will be drawn in 13C4 ways. So cardinal top B equals to like this. So probability of B will be 13 cardinal top B divided by cardinal top S, that is 13C4 multiplied by 39C1 whole divided by 52C5. Next problem is eight persons stand in a row at random. You are all acquainted with the word terminology random, that means according to your choice. What is the probability that 2 persons X and Y stand together? There are 8 persons in a row, stand in a row. From permutation, we know that 8 things can be arranged in a row in 8 factorial ways. From permutation, 8 persons can stand in a row in 8 factorial ways. That implies cardinal top S equal to 8. Let X and Y will stand together. So considering them as a single person, total number of persons will be 7, because X and Y will be single person and other 6 persons, totally 7 persons. These 7 persons can be arranged among themselves in 7 factorial ways. but actually x and y are 2 in number. They can be arranged in 2 factorial ways. Then by fundamental principle of counting, the arrangement of x and y to be together will be, let A is the event that x and y stand together. That is fundamental principle of counting, 7 factorial into 2 factorial. So here probability of A equals to cardinality of A by cardinality of S, that is 7 factorial into 2 factorial divided by 8 factorial, that is 7 factorial into 2 factorial divided by 8 into 7 factorial, that is 7 factorial cancelled, 1 by 4.